Starcitizen.it, the best Italian community.
Start with a question directly from Harris from Imperial News Network. It's our partnership website, and he's asking directly to you: is there anything that you never thought would be possible in video games when you were making Wing Commander that you are getting to add in Star Citizen now?
That's a good question. I think when I was first doing Wing Commander, I wasn't anticipating that the visual fidelity, like quality of the 3D and what we're doing now, you could do. I think a little later on, when I started to do more 3D stuff, I sort of figured over time it would get there. But the scope and the scale that we're building Star Citizen to is, I didn't think I'd probably ever get to do a game quite as big and as ambitious. So it's quite nice. Basically, it's the support of everyone that's allowing us to build such a huge game. So it's a lot of fun.
Can you clarify your actual vision of gaming instances in Star Citizen? This is a very good question. Huh?
So, well, I'm assuming when you mean gaming instances, you mean how many people are in one area together?
Yes.
So I mean, the concept. There's always going to be a limited amount of people that are going to be in one area. We're going to try and have as many people as we possibly can in one area, but you don't know whether that's going to be 30 people, 50 people, 100 people. And in some ways it can also depend on the situation or area you're in. So the concept is that you try to have as many people together as possible, and then when there's more people, then you've got to figure out what to do if they're in the same area. And so that's kind of the whole idea of an instance. So potentially you could be walking around Area 18 in our corp, and walking around here, we're thinking that the first version we can have maybe 30, 40 people all existing, and then if you join up at your player 60, you can't fit in there, so it'll be another instance where other people would join. And so what we're going to try to do is make it so that people dynamically are put into instances that their friends are in. So like the difference with World of Warcraft is everyone's in a world here or here or here, and you can't really dynamically move between them. In ours, that's not the way it works. So whenever you go into an area that's controlled by a server on multiplayer, it sort of can it can do sort of dynamic or live matchmaking, so it can put people together that are friends, or people you've tagged that you're interested in, or enemies if the right situation is correct. And so that's kind of what we're going to do with instancing, and we're going to try and do it in such a way that it won't really be apparent to the player that it's instanced. Because the other thing you got to remember is in Star Citizen, we're building it so there's a huge NPC world and universe. So I've said for a long time that it's about 90% NPCs to about 10% players in terms of the population of the universe, and that's one of the reasons why players couldn't crater the economy, because there's all these NPCs going about the days, and that's the same when you play the game. So the idea is when you're going to be playing a game, there'll be plenty of NPCs moving around, doing all their stuff. So the universe is going to feel alive, irrelevant of whether it's just you or you and thousands of other people playing online. So you'll have that in instances. So in instances you'll run around, there'll be quite a few NPCs, you and your friends, and then we'll just try to dynamically match it. So we'll try to hide the fact that there's only a finite number of people that you can fit. So if an organization gets together and says, 1,000 people all meet at the same place, well then not all 1,000 will meet at the same place, because we just won't be able to support them all. But most of the time we're trying to get past that in terms of you knowing about it. And that's also the reason why we have the instances be dynamic. So as you move from area to area, it's creating a new instance all the time. So you're not just stuck in one instance. So I leave this area and I fly in space to this other area, and then at that point, it just determines who would be, I would see who would be nearby, and it creates an instance for them. And hopefully in most of these cases there should be less players than there are slots available in the instance.
Can you explain how the org system will work? Me and Corizio, actually we are the admin of the biggest Italian org. Basically we are trying to develop this system, democratic system, but we have to understand how the taxes system will be implemented, how it works if a citizen will be main with us and we'll have other orgs, how we can handle this.
The goal is to allow the organization itself to determine how its members are going to pay or not pay, so whether it's you have to pay a membership or whether you have to pay a certain percentage of your earnings. I think that'll be sort of determined on the organizational basis. I mean, we're certainly going to be building more tools for the organization stuff on the website. So have private forums for the organization, so the organization have its own moderation tools, because we wouldn't moderate the organization, so that'll be up to the organizations to do it. And tools for organizations to be able to message each other, say, meet at this point, okay, at this time we're all meet at this location. So we have a fair amount of things that we actually want to do for the organization stuff and build it up. So I don't know if that answers the question about taxes, but we're going to sort of let the ability for the organization to charge people, they determine how it is, also for to have organization-owned equipment that you can perhaps lend or loan to people in the organization. I think we already support you being a member of more than one organization, but there will be more longer term. There will definitely be more tools for management of your individuals and saying, okay, well, you can be a member of us, but you can't be a member of this organization, that kind of stuff.
This is a question that is coming from our friend Gamescom. He say that many players are worried about the possibility that Starcitizen would be a pay-to-win game. Can you explain your game vision in order to avoid this issue?
My bottom game vision is that you should be able to earn pretty much everything in the game without paying money. So there will be things that you can only earn by playing, but there will definitely be nothing that you can only earn by paying. So in my mind, that's not pay to win. I know the problem is that different people have different versions of pay to win. So there are some people that say it's pay to win if you can spend some extra money and get a better equipment and therefore have an advantage. And my version is that's not pay to win if you can earn that by just playing the game as well. I mean, because the thing is, even if you don't have that system, World of Warcraft or something, I could go online to eBay and have someone give me a 85th level paladin.
Yeah.
And now if I don't know how to use my character very well, then I'll probably lose against someone that knows how to do it. Because I mean, that's the other thing is, it's skill based, right? So it doesn't matter. I mean, you can go online right now and you can see people that have, they could have bought a Super Hornet and dogfighting. Well, they'll lose to another pilot that's better than them in the same ship or in the worst ship. So I've definitely seen people fly things like a Hornet and not Hornet, and Aurora and take down Hornets, or a Mustang and take down Hornets. So I don't think so equipment helps out, but because it's skill based, it's always going to be skill based. And then again, as long as you can earn the equipment by playing the game, I guess all I'm saying is my definition is it's not pay to win because you can play to win as well, right? So you can play or pay. So as long as it's my definition of pay to win is I can spend money on this item that you can get nowhere else, and that item gives me I automatically sort of win. Like in a RPG game where you roll a dice. So I've got this magic armor, I got this magic sword, and I will beat anyone with that magic sword and armor, and I can only buy that by buying it for $50. That will be pay to win. I don't think we have anything that we're doing that's pay to win.
The next question is coming from Corizio about insurance. Okay, he is asking how long will it take to receive back, let's say, a big distracted ship like Javelin or the Aegis.
Yeah, well, so what we're going to do is that the bigger, more expensive ships, every ship once the universe is going, the ships that you can buy are produced in the universe. So the stuff that's produced in the universe is produced how it would be. So, you know, a small ship, a lot of them get built, but bigger ships will take longer. And so if you lost your Idris, it would depend on the production of the Idris Corvette. So if there wasn't one that had been built or ready to be done, you may have to wait a little bit to get your replacement ship. How long that is isn't been determined yet, but the idea is all the ships that you can buy in the universe are made inside the universe.
Okay.
And so the people playing the game, when they're like bringing iron or different ores and minerals to a planet that has a shipyard on it, so players will, part of what they'll be doing is bringing materials in that are making giving materials to the factories that can be building the ships that you can be buying. So all of it's part of the ecosystem. So these different factories would have different rates of production. So making the Hornets, on this particular planet that makes the Hornets, then there's lots of missions from players to bring in various components for Hornets and stuff like that. And then also if there's some blockade that doesn't happen, maybe the Hornet production goes down and the Hornets may not be, they're hard to get or they'll cost them more. So we're going to have all that. So bigger ships will definitely be rarer and take longer to sort of replace.
Next question is coming from Sniper.it and Excur Godor, our friends. It's about multi-monitor gaming. Okay, so they are asking, are you considering multi-monitor gaming? And actually, if we use a free monitor, let's say, the helmet will steal the 30% of the gaming view with borders. Okay. So, are you considering as well the possibility to implement gaming info like maps or stats in a dedicated monitor or tablet or whatever?
Well, we're definitely looking at doing sort of second screen support, so you can have like a second monitor, a tablet could have some more of the specific control stuff. Certainly be very useful for the multi-crew stuff, so we're going to, some of the multi-crew stuff we'll show this Friday, there'll be different stations you can do stuff on. The multi-monitor support's an interesting one because like on the question it's right, on the FPS is a problem with this helmet. So right now, like that's actually something we have to deal with. Like in the cockpit, it's not so big of an issue. But when you got a helmet on, it's basically you're going to see a lot of side helmet, which isn't so realistic. So we're trying to figure out that because I also don't want to, like one of the game design things is I don't want to have like wearing different armors should have different pluses or minuses. So like you got heavy armor, you should have a more constricted view. You don't move as fast. And you got light armor, you can see a lot more. So that sort of goes against the multi-monitor and having a wide field of view.
Prometheus is asking a couple of questions about the Italian situation. Okay, are you considering to dub the game in Italian language? And what about to create an Italian ship manufacturer like Ferrari or Maserati? I mean, luxury manufacturing, Italian manufacturing.
You mean like merchandise stuff?
No. I mean manufacturing of ship, like origin basically is a German-based.
Yeah. I mean like a Fiat, Ferrari. Or
let's say more Ferrari than Fiat. Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of fun. I mean, we sort of, I think it would be appropriate to be sort of a racist sports car version if you're going to have an Italian spaceship. On the dubbing side, not sure if we've decided whether we're going to dub. We're definitely going to. Our plans are to localize into Italian, so at least subtitles and change everything.
I know because in Italian we are very lazy. We want everything done. I know it's if you have time.
No. I mean, that's really really just sort of that's a cost issue. So right now we're planning on dubbing French, Spanish, German, and so Italians would be basically the next one.
From El Prototype, he's asked if we will be able to stream in-game videos without being moderate using ships like the Herald or similar.
So one of the features that we haven't done yet, but I'm planning on doing is having sort of in-game streaming. So you should just be able to play and hit a button, and you can stream, and like you could be on the website and you can look at your sort of avatar and you can see that you're broadcasting I could click on you and I could see your stream. So we've been playing around with some prototypes of that, but I kind of want to enable people to sort of stream stuff much more easily, because there's a lot of people that stream and it's very cool. And then when you're in the universe, I think this big universe going on, it would be actually pretty cool to stream and have people do sort of their own, like their paparazzi, or their capturing sort of on the location video views. And we're going to have some kind of like, think of them like traffic cameras, like a couple of cameras live all the time outside of Terror or something, or Sol. They can, you can sort of see the comings and goings of people in the universe in real time, which should be pretty kind of cool and fun.
Last question. What is Starcitizen for you?
What is Starcitizen for me? Just a big universe of possibilities. So, it's a fun playground. It's the game that I've always wanted to make, and I'm finally getting to make at the level that I wanted to make it. So it's a lot of fun. That's what Starcitizen.
Okay, thank you.
Starcitizen.it, the best Italian community.
Yeah! Siamo cotti, ragazzi, siamo cotti.
Destroy it.
Sei bellissima. You know what it means? Yeah. Okay. I think you should marry me, to be honest. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Starcitizen.it, best Italian community.
Ogni uomo ha un nome, secondo me noi ci stiamo credendo,